What's up guys, Joust here again. This is actually part 2 of a video series. Part 1 has the basic tips for Chronicle RuneScape Legends, so I'll put a link here for you to go see that first if you're interested in some basic tips. This is going to be some advanced tips, just 5 points that can help you, once you've got the grasp on the basic game, help you succeed over other people, I guess. So go straight into it. Point 1. The only health that matters is the last one. This is a sort of theory that is in a lot of card games, but people that are new to card games don't pick it up that fast until it's mentioned to them. You start with 30 health in Chronicle, but you only need 1 if you think about it. If the opponent does no damage to you all game, then you only need that 1 health as a life point to kill them for 30. So spending cards like Mimic, which deal 5 damage to you, a lot of new players might think, oh, why would I do that? That's just going to make it easier for the opponent because it does a 1/6 of their job for them. But it can also lead to a lot of good strategies because Mimic gives you 4 gold for free. So if you're playing a heavy weapon deck, so you can't play something like Ali Morathane because Ali Morathane will delete your weapon, it's easy to play Mimic and then use the gold given to you to do stuff like attack them with your weapon, or even play cards that heal you up. So you can basically play something like Mimic and then Romilly Weaklax, I think it is. So your net profit on that will be gaining 2 gold and gaining 2 health, which isn't bad as a beginner combo. So don't be afraid to spend health as a resource. It's a more risky resource than something like a weapon or your gold, but it is a resource there for you to use. Don't use a 30 card deck is point 2 yet. That's because if you think about it, if you've got a deck centered around using your weapons and you have 4 weapons in your deck, you've got a 4 in 30 chance of finding the weapon you need. If you start including other cards that aren't weapons, that puts it down to a 4 in 32 chance or a 4 in 36 chance, and it's just makes your deck less consistent and you therefore less likely to win. So you always want to be at the minimum for your deck, so 30 should definitely be the maximum amount of cards you put in. I hear they're going to put in a warning for this, but just before that warning comes in, I thought I'd mention it anyway. But I have said you shouldn't do that yet, because there are some deck types that like milling cards. So if you've got a deck that draws very viciously but also discards cards very viciously, you're going to run into a problem if you actually run out of cards to play. So in those sort of decks, then you would start to think, maybe I should run more than 30 cards. And it's good that they give the ability to run more than 30 cards. A lot of other games don't. It's just something you should watch out for, and the cards to build that sort of deck that runs more than 30 just aren't there yet. Expansions are coming out. It could definitely be a deck in the future, and I'm looking forward to that. But it's not there now, so I would definitely advise don't run more than 30 yet. Point 3. Lose health is not the same as take damage. This is kind of a finer point, because a lot of effects just say take damage, and for the main point it's going to be the same thing. Take damage hits your health, or if you have armor, it'll hit your armor, and then any excess damage goes through to health. But a lot of the Ariane cards and some others just say lose health, or that instead of take damage. This can actually be able to catch you out, because if you've got very low health but high armor and they play a card that says lose health, you can die with 0 health but like 25 armor, because it's health that matters, not armor. So basically this is really at the moment only in the scenario where you're a Raptor player and you've got high armor and high gold, so you can play Saradomin Brew, but because of that you've got low health. If the opponent plays something like a Wind Blast, I think it is, that deals 3 damage straight to your health. It could possibly kill you before you get to play that Celadonian Brew. So just something to watch out, thing to think. Do they have lose health cards rather than do they have take damage cards? Point number 4. Don't be afraid to lose effects. A common card I see this on is the Red Health Potion. I can never remember its name, but Red Health Potion that for 3 gold heals you for 5 and draws 2 cards. Initially, some people think, oh, I shouldn't play this if I've got full health. But if you're in a situation where you have half the combo pieces you need, but you need to draw more, you can definitely just, if you've got spare gold, play this at the end of your turn, because there's a chance in the turn they'll do damage to you, and then that'll heal that up. And if they don't do any damage, losing 5 healing but gaining the 2 cards you need to win the game is absolutely fine. If you're on 30 health, you don't need the healing in future unless they've got a 1-turn kill, which don't really exist in Chronicle. They've gone really out their way to make sure this is the one card game I've seen so far that has high damage but no real 1-turn kills. So don't be afraid to lose effects from cards as long as you gain some effects from those cards. Obviously don't just waste cards, but if you can get partial effects, partial's sometimes good enough. And number 5, this is sort of a subsection, know your finishers. There are 4 characters in game at the moment, and each of them has a lockout strategy. Once they use it, it's pretty much game over for you. I'm going to go straight through all 4. Ariane has the Earth spells, Earthquake and Earth Blast, I believe they're called. They do 2 times her hand size. So if she's got 10 cards in hand, that's 20 damage straight to your face. One of them costs 5 and discards all of those cards. One of them costs 8 and doesn't discard. So you need to watch out for that, because she can easily just do 20 damage straight to you and lock you out the game, because you'll either be so low that she can chip away your health or you're gone already. So how do you counter this? Pay attention to the opponent Ariane's hand size. It's a bit tricky to see at the moment because it's hidden behind the board. I'm hoping that they put a little number counter somewhere up top that tells you how many cards the opponent has, but it's not there at the moment. But you can still see. You don't have to count cards. You can still see if they've got like 3 cards at the start of their turn or 7. You can tell how dangerous they're going to be with respect to just blasting you away. So if they've got like 7 cards and you're on, say, 21, 22 or lower health, definitely think about healing as soon as possible just to take you above that range, because it's really the most bolt from the blue attack in Chronicle at the moment. So the other option for stopping that is they're both quite pricey spells, 5 gold and 8 gold respectively. There's a Sapphire card called Brugson Burson that puts the cost of a support card up by 3. The trick with playing that is playing it after they play their Wizard's Mind Bomb, because usually the combo is play Wizard's Mind Bomb, draw 3 cards so you back up to full hand, and then Earth Blast for 20. So you need to position it so you think they're going to play their Wizard Mind Bomb, you play your Brugson, then it puts the cost of the Earth Blast up. It won't have that big of an effect, because if you put the cost of one of their support cards up, it's going to make the other one harder to play anyway, but it can make all the difference, so just watch out for that. Number 2, Ozan. Ozan, I was going to just mention the basic deck finisher at the moment, because we haven't really got to the point where we're getting to Ruby Diamond cards yet, so just straight on the basic, his finisher is Ling the Assassin. It halves his gold and does half his gold's damage to you. So if he's got 30 gold, he'll go down to 15 gold and do 15 damage to you. This isn't the best finisher by a little bit. It's hard for the opponent to get above 60 gold so that he can kill you in one turn, but it's reasonable that he can actually get very high with there's a monster that has, I think it's 8-4 or 8-5 health, but that doubles his gold, so he can get really high really quickly. If he starts at 10 and he hits 2 of those monsters, it's straight up to 40, and then the assassin at the end is free 20 damage on you. So that one to watch out for, definitely. If he gets to about 10-12 gold and he hasn't really been buying anything, he's been more interested in amassing gold, you need to watch out for that. So doing things like healing, trying to steal his gold if you're an opponent Ozan player, or you have cards that lose gold, like I think the pirates, there's a couple of pirate cards that make him lose gold. Any little help, because if you can knock 2 gold off him, he'll lose 2 damage off you, or he'll lose, if you knock 2 gold off, he'll lose 1 damage, but he'll lose more damage as that gold doubles if you can knock it off before he does the doubling. So apart from making him lose gold, there's not much you can do about that, but that one's definitely, I would say, the worst finisher so far, because it's quite inconsistent and Ozan's more about chipping you down along the game. So not a great finisher, but it's definitely something to watch out for. Linza. Linza actually has 2 finishers, which makes her incredibly deadly, but the problem with Linza, and I was going to mention this in a video Wednesday, so keep an eye out for that, is that the basic cards that she gets given, she kind of has 2 sets, each with a finisher, that don't really mesh together very well, so you're either going to see one or the other for the next week or so, until people start getting the cards to build solid decks that feature one combo and the other combo. So the first one will take her weapon, take the attack of that weapon, double it, and do it to you, and then she'll lose 3 weapon attacks. So if she's on a 5-2 weapon, you'll take 10 damage, and she'll go down to a 3-2 weapon. You can watch out for that if she starts getting really high weapons. She's probably going to use them on a couple of things and then attack you with the pulverize, I think that one is called. So if she starts getting a really high weapon, sort of look out for ways to get rid of it. There's only one, I think, basic card that gets rid of weapons, which is the Raptor's Bash. So if you're playing as the Raptor, play that at a key moment, she'll lose her weapons, and then she'll end up spending all her gold on boosting a weapon that's not there. That's a fantastic strategy. There is a couple of other cards, I think it's Giant Rat and Calfight Emissary, that destroy weapons as well, but they're Sapphire cards, so you'll have to craft them if you want to use them. The other one takes her durability and times it by 2 and hits you with that, and then she'll lose the weapon completely. That one's a lot harder to get rid of, because if she's got, say, 8 durability and she wants to hit you for 16, if you remove 3 durability for that weapon, she's still hitting you for 10. So that one is a lot harder to get rid of, but luckily it's a lot harder for her to boost it, because there's a lot more cards that give weapon damage than durability. At the moment, the best way to get rid of that is if you see her building up a very low weapon a lot, not attacking with anything because she wants to save charges, make sure you heal, stay out of her attack range at that point. And the other one is the Raptor. This one's kind of unique because it's less of a kill you in one turn thing and more of a you'll never be able to kill me for the rest of the game thing. It's a card called Saradomin Brew, 4 gold, and it will put your health back up for the amount that's equal to your armor. So if you're on 4 health, 20 armor, it straight up heals you for that armor value plus 2. So you'll end up with, if you started on 26 health, and you keep the armor as well. So that's a really good card because the Raptor basically spends the entire game getting loads of armor, losing loads of health as a cost for that, and then instantly getting all the health back in one turn. And then you'll basically not be able to kill them, have to fight them in the final showdown, and the Raptor usually wins the final showdown. So the best way to get around that is making sure he doesn't get loads of armor. Don't attack him loads, get his health down low, let him build up armor, and then say, oh, I'll get rid of that armor now. If you can do risky plays that will kill him before he can get that armor up, go for them. If you can find a way to get rid of that armor, definitely go for it. Or again, you can play Brogues and Burson because it's a 4 gold cost card to play Ceridome Brew. If you can put that up to something like 7, it's going to be much harder for him to heal, and then you only have to deal with that armor. So yeah, that's basically all of the 4 characters' finishes. I'm going to be making basic videos for all 4 characters. I'll put a link to those in the description. They're all going to be the basic cards, no sapphires, emeralds, none of that. Just the cards that you get from the start and cards you get from playing the character up to level 10. And hopefully those are going to be useful to some people that are kind of just unsure what they should be playing until they have the cards that they want to build the deck they need. So those will be in the description. I've been Joust, and thanks very much for watching the advanced tips.